Then let's, meeting's being recorded. So let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Excuse me. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Duncan
Here.
and President Wright.
Here.
We have quorum for this
Okay.
meeting.
Thank you. And I don't have an agenda in front of me. I'm driving.
Public input.
But
Public input.
I know we, thank you. I was gonna say, I know we usually ask for public input. Do we have any on the phone today?
We do not have any members of the public on the line.
Okay, and as far as I know, we just have the one agenda item.
That is,
So we'll turn that over. We'll turn that over to General Manager, or does that go to Oriana?
I will be presenting.
that's going to go to Oriana. She's ready to go.
Okay. Okay,
All right.
Oriana, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I am going to share my screen. Give me a second. I'm not super familiar with Zoom, so. Are you able to view my screen?
I see it. Oh, Randy, no.
Most,
Yeah, I cannot. I looked at my phone, but no, I can't. But I can imagine good if you can draw a good picture.
all right, so the Employee Request Human Relations Committee, just, well, first of all, thank you so much, President Wright, Chairman Duncan, for joining us, listening to some of the requests made by employees this year. Just a little bit of history on the process. The Mission Spring Water District employees are not represented by a union. This allows us to have a more collaborative relationship with them. So we are open to the request and input, not only at this time of year for employee requests, but also throughout the year. This process is part of the budget process, and that is because wages and benefits do make a large portion of our budget. So we get the process started as early as March. The process is not new. We have been,
Okay.
can you hear me okay?
He's still going, Randy.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this process has been followed longer than most employees have been employed. We were able to track it up to longer than 20 years.
Wow.
And yeah,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
the process includes meeting with the employees, every single one of them, evaluating the request, meeting with the Human Relations Committee, which we're doing today, and then of course taking any items back to the Board of Directors, which we will do. So employee requests. This year, the meeting was held March 3rd. Incidentally, the impact of COVID last year was around the same time. So COVID had a big impact in the fact that there really were no changes in the market for a whole year. So because we were not able to move forward with some of the requests last year due to, our putting a hold on the wages and COLAs, just being prudent about our spending. A lot of the requests this year were the same as last year, and they included an additional optional holiday, a COLA, certification pay for staff who exceeds required certifications, other dental insurance options, full medical coverage at age 55, and an employee family event. Additional requests that were new this year were compensatory time to be sold back throughout the year, overtime pay for call-outs at 1.5 times during holidays, and that is for hours below a 40-hour work week. And the same for call-outs during week of a holiday. A time donation program was requested with allowance for administrative staff, with allowance raised to 400 and complete salary survey. I will say though that this request, each employee has the right to put forth any request that they want. So, you know, an employee will say, oh, I want this, or what about that? So every time an employee requests something, we just capture everything. After the request, we evaluate the request, and that is completed by management and staff, including me. And we look at the request and take into consideration past feedback from the board, legal guidance, and of course, labor market conditions. For example, past board feedback with the COLAs, we have been given the guidance that if the COLA is under 1%, we're just going to hold off. With legal guidance, we clarify some language on the overtime pay. And then we looked at market conditions, holidays, health insurance, certification, reimbursement. We were pretty competitive. And then some items we're able to do administratively, and some of them were already planned, such as the class and comp study, an employee family event. As soon as we're able to, we would love to get everyone together. It's been a long time.
Me too.
Yeah, that'd be good. We haven't done that for a long time.
Yeah.
And dental insurance, we evaluate our medical plan on a regular basis, especially every time our contract is due. And we evaluate for best value, both to the employee and to the district.
Okay.
So one of the items that we are bringing forward to the board and to this committee is the employee compensation time. This is the comp time that was added last fiscal year, where basically we allowed staff to accrue up to 40 hours of comp time and just kind of save it to use whenever they need it, and with the caveat that it will be cashed out by the end of the fiscal year. I would say though that this program has been popular. Employees like to save their time. Sometimes they use it. Sometimes they take it out and then they add to it. So it's worked pretty good. So this year, the employees would like to cash out throughout the year. Currently, our language for this policy states that they can only cash out at the end of the fiscal year. And the reason why we did that is because last year we were concerned that this will impact the finance team negatively. But now that the program has been established and with feedback from our accounting manager, it really wouldn't be that much more of an effort or a burden to be able to allow employees to cash out throughout the year if they so desired. So our recommendation is to reward the employee manual to allow for comp time to be sold throughout the year.
Okay, and tell me, go back a little bit. So right now, how is it again? Say it again. Right now, sell it how?
They can only cash out at the end of the fiscal year by June 30th.
Oh, just for the 40 hours?
Correct, or whatever amount they have in the book, up to 40 hours.
Up to 40 hours, okay.
And only one time per year, right?
Correct.
Currently, yeah, okay.
Only sell back any time throughout the year? Is that what you're saying, Randy? Instead of whenever?
I'm saying currently they can only cash out once per year.
Oh, yes. And so it would be as many times as they wanted to. Is that right, Oriana?
Yes, that would be the case. An item to discuss, see how the committee feels. Are there any questions?
No, on that one, no. That answered the question on that so far.
So,
Brianna, it looks like Brian may have had something he wanted to add.
Okay, Brian?
Just from a clarification perspective, I believe last year, when we were looking at comp time, it was allow the employees to take more time off throughout the year. And instead of taking the compensation from a financial perspective, it was just giving them more time off. What ended up happening is some of the employees weren't able to take some of that time off, but let's say Christmas is around the corner and they wanted to cash that out. Or they were coming up on an Easter break or something like that. They couldn't take the vacation they wanted to, but instead they wanted the cash instead. So instead, it was just one of those things as this evolved. They just wanted the option to be able to cash that out more frequently through the year. So I believe the intent and why we allowed this last year was to give them the opportunity, the flexibility to have a little bit more vacation time. However, it turned into, especially with the pandemic, they couldn't use that vacation time the way they wanted to. So really, it's just rewording the manual to allow them to have a little bit more flexibility.
Wouldn't we, Brian and Oriana, we would have to, I mean, if they did straight over the comp time and we let them, do the comp time, if we did, even if they did the overtime, we would be paying them anyway, correct?
correct.
So really, I don't know that it's any impact. Financially, it's no impact to us, is it?
No,
No,
Absolutely. I think the concern last year was that it was staff time. Specifically, as Oriana talked about, the senior account manager would be having to write checks and things like that, and it would be difficult for him to keep doing that on a consistent basis. I think that was the concern we heard last year. So we wrote language in there that they could only do it at the end of the year. However, now that the system's set up, we're able to handle that a lot more efficiently.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't quite figure out why it was, I mean, really, it's not that, there's no
no,
impact, so.
yeah, no,
Okay.
that's,
yeah, and
that's
this
an
is
easy one.
the only item for discussion at this time. The other ones, as noted, they are mostly administrative in nature. The COLA this year so far is only 0.85%, so it's less than 1%. Please let me know if there's any other items that you would like to discuss, but that's the one we would need guidance on is the comp time.
Okay,
Well,
so
yeah, and the employee party or event, that's pretty much, we've been letting the employees kind of make up their mind what they want to do anyway, so I don't know.
Right.
That's something you need to do.
Yes, I think
Well,
eventually,
the last one I remember was up at a park in Yucca Valley. And I think the district bought, hamburgers and hot dogs and some Cokes and, whatever else. So, cost to the district on that is a few $100s. It's really not, something we need to stress over.
yeah, a barbecue, yeah.
But-
a big,
Yeah, barbecue.
yeah, I think we did it up in Morongo, was it? Or was it Yucca, Randy? I thought it was, well, we did
Yeah,
several.
Yucca.
Okay.
Yeah, the last one I remember was up in Yucca Valley.
Okay. Well, I remember the ones we used to do at Wardman Park. So there you go.
Yeah. I think they moved up to Yucca because it was giving away. It was a day off in their mind, out of Desert Hot Springs, away from the district, away from town. So
Yeah,
that's
Morongo
why
Valley's
it's moved a bit.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Morongo Valley's a good park too.
so it'll be nice
But
that
I don't.
it's safe to be able to get back together. It's just a nice thought.
It's a good thought. So as soon
Right.
as we can, I would fully say yes to that one.
Yeah. Okay, but the only real item that we are discussing today is the ability to cash out time on the books throughout the year rather than just once a year. That's the big agenda item.
Yes, because that will require a change in language on our employee handbook.
Okay.
We'll
In
go
our
back to all the ask.
I'm sorry?
Where's the page that has all the asks on it, right? No, where's all the, is that likewise, many of the requests, same as last year? Okay, well, where's the, is there a page that just says what you guys are asking for this year? Or is it just that one request?
No, I don't know if you're able to see the employee request dated March 3rd. It's up on my screen. Can you see it?
I can see it. There's yeah, I can see there's other requests. There's likewise many of the year's requests the same as last year. That's the ones you're talking about. And then the other requests.
Interestingly,
We
those
can't see
requests
those.
were also brought up this year because we didn't get to do much with them last year because of the pandemic. So, you know, the staff doesn't forget. So they brought it up again.
Right.
But for example, some of these items, as we move forward with the class and comp study, we're going to be evaluating benefits, how we compare to other districts. So that probably will be able to provide better direction of how we compare. So we're kind of waiting for that to take effect. That would be our recommendation.
Okay.
Okay, got a question about the boot allowance, Ray. Oh, go ahead, Randy. Go ahead.
No, I
Randy?
wanted to be the, yeah, I'm here. I wanted to be the bad guy here. Do we, in our employees handbook, do we currently have a list of benefits that they get? All the benefits that our employees are currently receiving?
I don't believe it's in the handbook, no.
Throughout, not as a list, no, throughout the handbooks, they are mentioned, like the holidays, the boot reimbursement.
But they're scattered out throughout the handbook. Can I get you to compile a list of benefits that we currently offer our employees?
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. As we head into this class comp, and I'm all for doing the class comparison to see where we stand, but I don't want staff or employees, in my opinion, going into this with a goal in mind of, gee, we're going to match what this class comp says.
No, I don't think, no, I don't think that's going to be what, you know, I mean, you're saying that's what they might think is happening. You know?
Correct.
I know.
And I don't want to give anybody false hope that, gee, we're gonna jump up and match the average for the class comp. Now, if there's a huge disparity somewhere and we need to step it up, you know, we'll look at that. But we're not ordering this class comp for a matching guideline, if you will.
Correct. I will compile that list. We have, those benefits are also posted on our website under the employment page, but I will make sure to get that to the board.
But I think.
Okay, yeah, if you would, please.
Okay, I got a question.
Our current day. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Randy. Go ahead. Finish that topic.
Oh, I was just going to say a list of our, current days off, optional admin time, boot allowance, family insurance, just a list of benefits.
Will do.
That's available on the website, or you can get that compiled for the board, please.
Yes, to both.
Randy.
Okay, thank you.
Randy, yeah,
Yes,
I mean, you're Randy, you're asking good questions, but the class comp is really, it's more specific than that. It's looking at each individual to see what their particular, it's not specific to say, well, this person at these other agencies is making more money, because every agency cannot match up people perfectly, but it can, but they do generate. So it's not gonna, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that partly these people want to know if they are competitive, and that's reasonable. They're going to find out they're very competitive. But But the point is that what we want to do is to see, you know, are these classifications that, and the duties that they're doing, are in some cases, we may have people in a classification that isn't really performing the duties that is typical of that classification. Those are the kind of things we want to deal with, you know, also.
Right, but you know what? If that category works for us, you know, then I'm not looking to change it because the norm doesn't go that way.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that's not, that, you know, the little bit
Okay.
up, it's going to be it's going to be hard to make that comparison. We're going to just evaluate it, and in some cases, we might be paying too much. In some cases, we might be paying too little, you know? And
Right,
so
right, I understand.
we can make just adjustments, so it brings us up to where every class has the appropriate compensation. And I think it's pretty much going to even out, to be honest with you.
Okay,
But
I've got a
it's
fire
by-
truck coming by here.
It's by the class and not by specifically by employee that's an employee right now. I mean, right, not what each employee has. It's class, the class that the employee works in. Okay. If you're done with that topic, I'd like to ask a question on the boot allowance. I see somebody's asked for what, $400? What is the boot allowance right now?
300.
300. Okay. And there's a boot allowance for administrative staff. Well, tell me why,
Well,
or what kind of boots? I mean, why they, when they go out in the field, I mean, is there
no,
a need for that?
I think the intent behind this is our uniform and dress policy requires a certain professional shoe, or at least not wearing unprofessional shoes. And this may have been in response to us telling them not to wear certain shoes. So
No, it's safety. Is it anything, that particular, anything to do with safety?
no, nothing to do with
Okay.
safety at all.
But now the other boot allowance, where the guys who do get boot allowance,
Mhm.
is 300 not enough? What is the boots normally cost?
I have seen them vary all the way from $60 a pair, all the way to 100, 120. And if you really want to go into the higher end, I mean, just like regular shoes, you know, anywhere. But 300 seems to be, at least at this point, quite competitive with what's out there with the other agencies. But it's definitely something that we
Uh-huh.
look at with the class and comp.
And do they usually does one pair of boots last them the whole year usually, or do they need two pairs?
I don't believe so, but maybe Danny can add to this comment. Danny? What's up, Danny?
Somebody help me.
Trying to learn how to use the unmute button. Sorry about that, Oriana. You know, it's relative to certain people, I think, as well as what we've got. What Oriana was saying is there's some of our staff like to get multiple pairs of boots at a lower cost, and that gives them a new boot throughout the year. On the higher end of the spectrum that Oriana was hitting on, management did look at that. We are competitive with other agencies. Some people get a more expensive pair of boot, and I know that it lasts them, but
I was just thinking of safety reasons, you know, because boots to me are a safety thing. And I just wanted to make sure that they had what they needed for safety on the job with their boots. And that was my concern. So everybody does, they all have pretty good boots at this point in time. And now what happens if how does that work on the boot thing? Do they bring a receipt in, or do they just get the money?
They bring a receipt in. It will be a reimbursement.
Okay. I just want to make sure that they all have the right boots, you know, and they're all safe out there with boots. That to me is, out of all this on here, that seems to be the safety thing out of all of them.
Yeah, but how does that tie into, let's use customer service, the ladies at the front end? Do they just not get this option, or for them, do they get non-skid soled, non-whatever skid tennis shoes? Is that appropriate for them? Or is this really a safety item for the guys in the field? They're going to drop a
Yes.
pipe on their foot and cut toes off.
That's what I figured it was for.
Yes, this definitely is a safety item for field staff, not for administrative
Okay.
staff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think required probably on the job, like a hard hat, required, yeah.
Mhm.
Type
Right,
thing, certain kind of boots, yeah. Right. And I don't know, I guess the cheaper ones qualify as well as the more expensive ones, I suppose, if they're buying both of them, so. Okay, just making sure that they,
I think, I think you can get a pair of boots that can get upwards of $200 to $300, but I've never, I don't think I don't know of any that are over $300. I think
at that price, they should last them all year. That's what I would
Oh,
think.
yeah, they
that
should.
price.
But again, it's how much do they walk?
Yeah, I
mean, if
don't know.
If you were to,
Right.
if you were to do this with a meter reader that walks every day,
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Or depends.
Yeah, but it's also, yes, safety. Okay. So that answered that question. Any questions else? Randy, I guess, dental insurance. We went through that last year. I think you told us all about the dental, other kind of dental insurances that was out there.
Right, we always evaluate for value. We certainly want to offer our staff the best value, while at the same time, it being reasonable for the district. So,
Well, right. And one thing, as you guys know, this year, I understand that we still don't know what COVID's going to do as far as our revenue goes. We're still waiting to see. I think Nat said last time it was a little over 600,000 so far, and it might get more. So we still have some unknowns out there in the financial world for us. And what the cost of living adjustment was, what? What was that?
0.85%.
That's for 21, 22?
From November 2020, which is when we last did the COLA, to the most recent data available was January of 2021. I'm not sure if there is a newer one. That would be a question for Matt McHugh, but when we did this, it was 0.85, which is less than 1%.
Okay. One more thing. Refresh my memory on what we did at the mid-year budget review when we voted on COLAs.
We, the board approved a 3.75% COLA retroactive to.
And that was for which years? That was for 2021?
2021.
2021, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
And so this is for 21.
21, 22.
Got it. Okay, thank you. And
Okay.
we didn't do anything then on for this budget, next budget year on that day. I didn't think we did. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope, not for me.
No, I don't have any. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So now what we typically do is the two committee members get together and make our recommendation to the board. And then at our next board meeting, we will vote on this up, down, sideways, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, we'll give our recommendation and then the board can decide what they want to do.
Right.
That's how it's done.
So,
All right.
Okay, so but
Okay.
Randy and I can do that by ourselves. Can we do that? Is that okay, legal, or do we have to hash this out in public? Usually we don't. I mean, usually we just do it right at the meeting, but I think to the employees, I don't know how I don't remember. This Zoom meetings are interesting.
I think
Yeah.
you can decide what you
I
want.
always thought, yeah. I thought that the committee got together after sitting with the employees. The committee got together, made our recommendations for the board, and then voted on it from there.
And then it was open in the public out there.
But
Okay.
what you're
Right.
asking Nancy is, can you and Randy meet now and decide which ones you want to
Well,
bring? forward?
yeah, because Randy can't see what's on the screen. I would like a copy of what's on the screen to look at. And I just thought it'd be, since Randy can't see it, I don't know, I thought maybe it might be, if we could do it that way, it might be easier for us, but that's just if we
Yeah,
can.
I think if you could do it before, as long as we, you're gonna have to do it before the next meeting. I don't know why you do that. You could call another meeting.
If you can provide us feedback on the comp time policy so that we can move forward.
I'm good with that one, the one that they can take out any time of the year. Yeah, I'm going to recommend that to the board, definitely.
As long as that's not a burden to Matt and the payroll department, I don't have a problem with that. There's no expense to the district to
Right.
do it that way. It's not an added benefit, really. It's just a rule change.
And the 8.5% COLA, I don't, you can let us know how much that is, but how much that would equate to, but doesn't sound, it's like the lowest I've ever seen.
The pandemic had something.
Would consider that one.
Yeah, I thought Oriana said you didn't want to consider it because it was under 1%. You were going to kind of let it accumulate until you hit that 1.
Typically, that's the guidance that we have received from the board, yes. So we were going with that.
I don't remember it being anything lower than 1. Anyway, okay, I see.
Well, I think the staff is pretty agreeable to everything.
Pretty, what'd you say?
So the only,
I think that the staff understands, that this is just, it's so slight, and you did step up to the plate and do what you needed to do, and you were good to the staff, and so.
But the 3.75, we did go retroactive, and I was told later that that's not really kosher to do, but we did do it anyway. So, and that's not usually done. So you guys got to go backwards for 3.75. So, okay, that was a good COLA.
yeah. So the only real item on the plate for us today is allowing to cash out accumulated time throughout the year rather than making everybody wait for one opportunity.
Correct.
Okay, and that's all that's really out there on the plate. Is that would be our recommendation to the board then, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I would vote for that.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with that at all.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So that.
Okay. Well, that's what I would guess as to, that's what I would be, I would recommend to the board. I keep saying I would vote on, but I would recommend to the board to do those 2 things.
Right.
All right.
Well, there's only one.
I mean, that one thing. You're right. I'm sorry. One thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what 2 things? I'm missing.
I know.
You're confusing me.
I had the COLA in my mind. Okay. But no, I understand. The one thing is great. I would thank the employees. Thank you to very much for understanding and seeing that the district is still kind of wondering what our revenues is going to be for the next maybe 6 months or so before we might really find out. So thank you very much for.
We have good employees. Yes. Okay. So yeah, then you don't have to meet then, right, Nancy, again?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
I was thinking that Randy couldn't see it and we need to talk about some of those, but I'm good.
Yeah, it's pretty little different this year. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But I remember on one of our aqua presentations, I think it was the first one, somebody threw out the number and said California, because of COVID, there are more than $1 billion worth of accumulated late payments.
8 billion.
Was it 8 billion?
That's what the
I thought it was
state said.
8 billion.
8
I
billion.
thought it was 8 billion.
Some agencies lost 25 to 50% of their revenue during COVID when they couldn't disconnect.
Right. Yeah. So I also appreciate the employees, understanding, we don't have money to just throw around. So, okay. Well, good. Okay. Any other comments, General Manager?
Thank you very much. Yes, this is straightforward. I know it's almost like, wait a minute, this is a little too simple, you know? So, but I think, yeah, we discussed everything. I think we brought everything that they requested to the table. So can you think of anything, Brian and Oriana, that we might want to discuss additionally?
But at this time, I don't.
Oh, thank you very much for both of you participating in this committee meeting. We appreciate your guidance and we'll move forward.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. I just enjoy seeing you all. So you too, Russ. So is the meeting adjourned, Randy?
Yes. If nobody else has anything, we'll be adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks. Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.